All right, what's up, everybody? I want to give you guys some quick stock tips before I go ahead and start that Robinhood $1,000 challenge. I do have an exam coming up. I have two exams coming up this week, so I will kind of be in and out trading. But today I decided to buy shares in Cisco Systems. Let me go ahead and start sharing my screen, so that way you guys will be able to see what I'm talking about here. Um, in my other video, I know I deleted it, but we were able to set a couple of orders. Let's see right here. This is definitely a fake account, so don't get too excited. Now, as you see right here, we have a couple buy orders right here on the XIV, and I'm going to show you exactly why. So we have 1,000 shares for the XIV. This is definitely a short-term trade. We see that we're going to bounce off of support once again. The market is oversold, and how you want to know how it's oversold. We can take it. You can take it a short-term chart, and we can see the RSI has been at its lowest levels for a while. And I would say this is like the second lowest level. This is when the market just completely fell down in a knife pattern. We haven't seen that in a while. Hold on, let me set up my chat right quick. Um, all right, so like I said, we have 1,000 shares to fill it right there simply because it's oversold. We're going to get back to that paper trading, and we're going to get, I'm going to show you guys the live results tomorrow and see exactly how we do. Hopefully, I don't lose any money. This is definitely a fake thing, so I really don't care if I do or don't. This is one right here. Berkshire Hathaway. I simply bought this because, the market, this moves with the market. So whenever we see that, airlines and financials will get a good bounce, this is definitely when the stock takes off. But until then, financials and airlines have definitely been on a downturn. The only upturn we have seen for airlines is American Airlines and maybe United Continental or United Airlines, whatever it was. But what else do we have here on the order XRT? Let's look at the XRT. Simply, I bought the XRT right here simply because we're in a double bottom pattern here. So I want to catch this before we go ahead and run up past that $44, or maybe we stay right here at 43, and we probably have a hard time getting past that $44 level. But whatever price we get stuck at, I want to make sure it's going to be higher than my buying price. So I went ahead and bought shares in this in the middle of the the W pattern right here for the double bottom. And as you see here, we have a limit of 400 shares. Yeah, you're welcome, man. All right, so Delta Airlines, that's pretty good. But let's check this out. We see that it's some weakness going on right here at the RSI. So I would suggest maybe you buy more and just hold on until we become overbought at those really good levels that we have seen. But we have seen the airline business kind of, I would say, fall off simply because we've seen the oil trade fall off. So once the oil trade comes back online, we start to see some growth there. This will definitely pop up. But simply, I bought Berkshire Hathaway right here. I bought it right here, shares right here. I was buying shares right here, but I was taking a loss. I was trying to chase it. I wasn't really looking at the systems. But honestly, if you look at this right here, we see that Berkshire Hathaway barely gets oversold. So if any weakness, I was going to buy. Once it broke below this level right here, this was definitely a signal because we go by the RSI history. We see that it never gets below that level until now. So we see a lot of weakness in the stock market, and we see a lot of weakness in this chart. So if we do see a downturn in this stock, it's very low volatile investing. So, I won't get hit really hard, but we may see it run back down to that 161 level, and I will be buying more shares, increasing my position because I really don't want to let go of this name. I was in it around 123, sold it at 150, so around this level. Well, this level right here because this is the Trump trade. So I sold around this level right here and decided to open up a Robinhood account and put all my money in there. So let's check out another one, Cisco Systems. We see that, once again, there is weakness in the market. There's weakness for quality stocks. I was waiting for Cisco Systems. I know you can go back to my older videos. I was waiting on Cisco Systems to actually take a dip on earnings and, kind of do bad. But I really wanted to get into this name, but now this definitely gives me an opportunity to actually get into this name. But right now, we're kind of in a downturn. Like I said, there's weakness in the market. There's not a lot of buying going on. There's less volume going on in the market than, these days right here when stocks were popping out, popping. So QQQ, we check those out. Low volatile investing. So we see the Trump trade. Where is it? We're just starting around November. So we see a pretty good, pretty good pop here and there. So these lines are justified right here. Let me show you. Lines are justified right here, and we see a bottom right there. And that's just easy charting to be honest with you. Let's look at another one, SPY. This is the S&P 500. As you see, I've already plotted, the sideways trading. So let me go ahead and take this off, so that way you guys will understand what I'm looking at or how I did that. So check this out right here. We're gonna plot our resistance level. So check this out. I know you see me plotting at 23.90, but our $239. But go ahead and check that out because we did see a top at 240. So we can guesstimate that if the support was the resistance was at 240, and check out the bottom 231, and we can see right here. Wait, let's see. We can see that we found like a small little support right here until it continued to rally. So we see a small bounce off of support. That's what we call support. This is what we call resistance because it's hard to break out of that top range. We see it try to take a day off or take a couple of days off and try to get back up there, double top. We're going back down, and that's usually what happens. We bounce back on that support level, and we're going to try to gain some strength and try to break past that 240 level. That's what the stock is trying to do. But if we cannot break past the 240 level, we might be sideways trading. Or if we come back to this level right here, this support level, and we pierce through that, the market might be in trouble. I'm not really sure what we might see, next resistance at 229, but who knows? But a lot of analysts are betting that the market is going to go down. So this is what I played today. All right, I was able to buy shares right here. I put it on my Instagram stories. So this was definitely me playing around with the chart, but let me go ahead and take these lines away. I don't want to, let's see, remove all drawings. Let's see. All right. Boom. All right. So let's see. We have resistance right here. This is just easy charting right here. Resistance right here. Support right here. All right. We see support in the pre-market too. Support right there. Support right here. And as you can tell, I'm plotting support where the stick is sticking out, not where the bar is. I want to plot support where the stick is sticking out because it lets me know exactly the price that it was bouncing from. So if, let's see right here, let's see if I can zoom in. We know that at 1669, that was the lowest price, and then it bounced from off of that. So that is definitely a mental note that you always want to keep into your head. So once we start to get to that 1680, we're gonna say, okay, last time it bounced from it went below 1680 and it bounced from 1669. Now, if it does not hold 1669, this makes a lot of technical traders nervous, especially me, because this definitely opens up room for downside to go past 1641. And as you see, I'm plotting support only. I'm not getting into resistance right now. We're plotting support. So 1641 will be the next support level. So you see how easily this works. Support bounces off. We see another support level right here. And as you see, the support level can easily work right here as well for this support. And we see the support level on that bounce around right here twice. After that is done, we see it like I would say double bottom, but we don't see a W in the chart. Let me show you a perfect example of a double bottom. Let's go to the 1 year. All right, this is a perfect example of a double bottom. Remember, I made a video on Chesapeake. this is what happens. Chesapeake, it declined the whole time, and I would definitely show you what else double bottom with Chesapeake, so that way you know exactly if a commodity is down, you know exactly which one to play. So and you're really choosing between oil and gas with Chesapeake. So I'm definitely going to show you which commodity showed the same pattern that Chesapeake showed. So we see a double bottom here, and simply what a double bottom is usually it's just a W pattern. That's all it is. It's a W pattern. So we see a W pattern right here, and we're going to see a double pattern right here with the oil contract. Double pattern, double bottom. It's a W pattern. See how easy that is? W, W, easy. Stands for wins. So once we see that double bottom, we see stocks take off. Now let's go back to the retail sector. This is exactly why I put my order in right here, justified. Double bottom. Look at that. A double bottom in the chart, and we might see this thing explode. That's what I was talking about earlier. We might see this thing explode. Does anybody have any questions for me so that way, I can address those? I don't want to keep rambling on about, the stocks that I've played or the stocks that I'm, putting orders in for the simulated trading thing. And while you guys are answering your questions, this is definitely a trend line that's pointing down. We see it, the top right here for the trend line. Let's get in. Let's get in closer. We see the top right here. We try to break out of there, and it wasn't strong enough to hit that top. We see it try to get to there. We see it try to get to there, and once we see it try to get to here, kind of gave out. But after that, we see a bottom. Maybe even the double bottom, pretty much. You see the bottom of the candlesticks. Let's see if I exit. All right, there we go. Oh, wow. Didn't mean to cancel that. I'll just buy another share. Let me see. XRT, where is it at? You see the status? You are out. All right, let's see if we can fit in 400 shares. This is definitely simulated trading. Not real. Remember, not a real trade. So the whole point of me buying the stock is so that, we can see that double bottom, come to fruition. So as you see right here, where I'm buying might be a really good resistance level. And that might be, something that I need to pay attention to since I'm buying the stock. But, it is simulated trading. Does the V shape mean the stock is going up? It honestly, it depends. So if we see a V, I'm trying to think of what chart has a V in it. Just a straight V. Let's see, what stock has a straight V? I'm trying to think of it. Do you know a stock that has a straight V? Jeez. FedEx, UPS. Oh, okay, cool. Right here, FedEx. Now we see right here, usually, oh yeah, there's a bunch of V's in here. Okay. So we see UPS. This is definitely, I find it to be one of my favorite stocks, to be honest with you, because there is just, I would say, low volatility going on here. And I'll definitely get to the sector if you don't want to buy UPS and you want to buy, other shares of different transportation companies. I'll get into that. But for right now, we're going to get to the V. So as we see, we see one V right here. So we see the declining, we see the making of the V, the declining side of the V, and we're going to see the upside of the V. So we could say that the V could signal that the stock is getting ready to go up, but at the same time, when we think about it, we don't know if we're buying into a V or we're buying into a W. Simply because, the stocks are not perfect all the time. You might be buying into a W, and you might see this right here. You might see, you might think it's, this might be a U chart, and we see a V. Okay, we see another V right here. So this might be, we see the downside of the V. And what do we see with the downside of the V? We see that it's oversold, so it's due for a bounce. What happens when it's due for a bounce? It continues to run. After that, the chart, after that, the pattern is broken. It's going into another pattern. And right here, we see that it was kind of, it wasn't really oversold, but we did see a W in the RSI. And simply just letting us know that the RSI is bottom. All right, so Yeah. So give me a stock to talk about so I can go ahead and talk about it because I know a lot of things off the top of my head. So just give me something so I can talk about it. Um, I'll talk about Palo. You're welcome. Palo Alto Networks. The reason I didn't buy Cisco Systems is simply because, the reason I didn't buy Palo Alto Networks is because Cisco Systems was taking away Palo Alto Networks customers. Even though this is the top cybersecurity firm out there, Cisco Systems was able to uh, kind of take away that market share from Palo Alto, which showed a lot of growth to be made with Cisco Systems. And if we look at a 3-year chart of that, we see that it's broken out of that trading range of doing nothing, and now we might be in that trading range of doing nothing. But if we start to get boring on once a stock starts to get boring with me, I'm definitely gonna sell it. So hopefully I can get in right here and we can break out to the upside. But definitely there's a lot of good things coming out of here. You see the price targets are being raised and things like that. Okay, things that helped me get me get started. All right, I will address that question in just about a. Okay, let's see. Besides myself, I mean, let's see. Any books or sources besides yourself you would recommend learning from? Honestly, when I started this thing, I didn't even read. I didn't even read any books on this. I simply watched stocks and I watched exactly how they moved. So this was me. Let me go ahead and show you guys. This was me. Um, let me see. Oh, by the way, check out my website. Check out my website. Subscribe. I might start charging you guys $1 for alerts because I definitely will be showing you guys more penny stocks. So let's go to Yahoo Finance. Let's go to Colton Info. And we're going to get to General Dynamic in a minute. So this was me. Let me show you guys exactly what I used to do. This was me. Look, this was me the whole time. Once I started getting into stocks, this was me. I was glued to CNBC. I was writing down tickers. I downloaded Yahoo Finance, and what I did, I put them on. I put every single stock that I seen run across the ticker. I put that on my Yahoo Finance watch list, and a lot of those stocks did stick into my brain. So now I know a lot of tickers off the top of my head, and I can definitely tell you, which company has what ticker. To be honest, we can go off FedEx, FDX. We can go into the silver commodity, whatever. I know a lot of these things off the top of my head simply because I've been watching them for a long time. Now, what made me, start actually buying the stocks? I'm going to be completely honest with you. This guy named Tim Sykes, and what I knew, what this guy did was he charged people to trade with him. So let me show you guys what he does. This is the guy that did this right here. So what he does, he picks low float stocks. He buys before he alerts his subscribers that he buys. And after he says he's gonna buy, his subscribers bid it up. Once they bid it up, the rest is history. That's how he makes his money in and out. And once he wants to sell, he's gonna sell before he alerts. And that's easily how he makes his money every single time. And what made me really want to get into this because I really didn't want to pay him to learn how to trade because I was just wondering how was he able to trade. And I decided to go ahead and look up Google. So I would Investopedia all the time. Investopedia, watch simple videos. Investopedia simulator, stock market simulator. I was doing all kinds of things. I was wondering how can I, grow my wealth? How can I, watch So that's definitely one way. I know another way. You should definitely follow me on Instagram, MikeTheDayTrader. And I don't know what just happened right now. Not sure what just happened. I'm not sure what's going on here. I know it's, oh, there we go. It's not, okay, it wasn't showing me at first. All right, can you give me a symbol for general dynamics? Let me see. There. Never mind. All right, GD. Look at that growth. I'm really attracted to stocks that grow over time, and we see there's a steady dividend of what, 66? What is that? Dividend of 69 cents constantly. Oh, and then we did, okay. We started to grow from 69 cents with dividend of 62 cents. This was it back in what, 15, and now we're at dividend of 84 cents. So this is definitely a pretty good trade, or excuse me, this is definitely a good investment. And if you're looking to invest in this, go ahead. I mean, looks like it doesn't go down over time, and you have a steady dividend, to make you feel confident in buying more. I mean, this is what companies look for. They want to increase their dividend. Like UPS, to be honest with UPS, on this little dip right here, what they did was to make sure that they weren't, to kind of, I would say, soften the blow for investors. They raised the dividend. So we see 78 and we see 83. And I was able to scoop up a dividend since I bought it on the bottom right here. I really didn't sell at the top because I kind of started to believe in the company. And when I start to do that, that's when I break my principles, and that usually turns into losses, as you see right here. But we see that once the company is able to pay out a higher dividend, that does something for investors. Investors start to love the company. So if you're not interested in UPS, we have IYT. That is the whole transportation sector. So you have FedEx, you have UPS, you have the regular shippers and things like that. All right. By good Trump trade, let's go back to it. If yeah, this is a defense. So when we see stocks like this, so if we don't go to war, I'm not really sure if this thing will go up. But since we did have that recent spike in that Syria missile strikes, this is what we've seen right here, and we've seen the stocks come back down. So we start to see these stocks kind of flatline since there was nothing else added onto that. But if we do start to see Trump start to see, look right here, we have it right here, Tomahawk, 832,000 per missile. We can go to Raytheon, and simply, if you want to be, if you want to look at the big picture, you don't have to buy these companies. You can simply buy their suppliers and where they get their missiles from and their materials. So, what is the company? Let me see if I have it here. AJRD. These are the people that actually finance the, not finance, but actually make the Tomahawk, I think it was. These are the people that actually make the Tomahawk. And, they sell it to, let's see. They actually sell it to Raytheon. Yeah, they actually sell it to Raytheon. I'm sorry, guys. I'm looking at the chat. It said it was kind of closed, but I'm trying to understand why. So, you guys have any other questions for me? Oh, look at that. So, this definitely gives you a good measure of, the actual defense contracts. So we can have a army, we can have a military stock, and we can have the supplier. So we can kind of diversify our portfolio for both ways. I guess everybody wants to talk to me now that I have, this live chat going, which is really interesting. Are you sure? Any other questions? Okay, as a beginner. All right, as a beginner, I started off with $25, and once I was able to get comfortable with the balance, I started to deposit more money. So as you see, if you go to my Instagram, I do show my 6 month return, which is over 80%, which which really gave me a lot of confidence since I was able to turn such a little amount to this much money. Honestly, for the stock market, this should not be your primary and only source of income. This should definitely be looked at as just a, like this should this should be like a backseat type of income. This should be something that you do for fun. Anytime you start to turn this into your primary and only source of income, that's exactly when you bring on stress and when you start to force playing stocks because you have to pay bills, you have to do all this. Usually, what a lot of people do, they usually work for about 3 to 2 years and then come back to trading. They kind of quit their job and they come back to trading because they saved up so much. They come back to trading and usually they trade stocks and they start to become a day trader. And that's pretty much how it is. But usually people who start up with less than $10,000 worth of cash in their account usually takes a long time to grow that account unless you're actually depositing more money over time. For me, I would love to deposit more money over time, but right now, I'm in school, and they currently have a hiring freeze on the jobs in the state of Texas. So anything else? We got support. We got I showed support. I showed resistance. I showed trend line. Um, Let me get to this head and shoulders so that way you guys will know what to look out for. Okay, so let me show you this right here. Head and shoulders. This is exactly okay. So let me finish this up and I'll get out you guys' hair. So this right here is a head and shoulders. So you can definitely look these up on Investopedia. You can look up all chart patterns to understand what's really going on with your stock. So if you see your stock giving, I answer that. When I would say when you start to see your stock give this pattern out, I suggest you go ahead and get out simply because we don't know how hard the stock will dip. I know at some point the T triple Q did give out this symbol. It started to give out, that head and shoulders type of feel, and it started to run all the way down. So when do I expect to go live again? Um, Probably tomorrow. Probably tomorrow when I finish my exam. I'm definitely gonna come back on live. So probably around. It might be early in the morning. So if you guys aren't good with early in the morning, I might do the same time tomorrow at nighttime, and we're gonna see how I did with my live orders since I do have live orders pending. But if the morning does not work, like I said, I will go ahead and do it at nighttime. But I have 5 pending orders here, and we're gonna see how that pans out. I'm not gonna touch it, and I'm not gonna touch it until I get back on the live stream. So we're gonna see how exactly those do. But hopefully those will do pretty good since I'm buying at the dip. But hopefully the market doesn't open up poor. Oh, by the way, guys, the market will be closed on Friday, so don't expect. I know you're gonna wake up tomorrow. You're gonna be wake up Friday. You're gonna be like, oh man, the market's. I don't know what's going on, but the market will be closed for a holiday. Yeah, so all right, I'll finish up with this one right here. So Elf Beauty, this is definitely another stock that I really do like simply because this is a makeup brand. This is a cheap stock, and they have seen growth and they have reported that they're going to see growth all the way to the end of the year, and that is definitely something that you want to be a part of. So definitely check shares out like this. I know, as you see right here, issued out secondary shares at $27. So right now we might break below the $27 level. But if we get to that $25 level, I'm definitely will buy some shares and probably hold on to it for a while. But this is definitely another growth name that people want to pay attention to. So yeah, my roommate's kind of spazzing out if you can hear him. He's mad playing Madden, kind of losing on the game. But all right, that's all I have for you guys. Take care.